Hello everyone. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I'm very excited to have you here today. I am so thrilled to share this sweet little pattern. I made a little set here for my car. I wanted to add a little bit of spring vibe to the interior of my car, and I came up with this fun little set here. I made these two coaster flowers. I put this on the inside of my cup holders to prevent any kind of spills, coffee spills, any drink spills. So these fit in there perfectly. And I made a card charm here. I hang this over my rear view mirror. And also I made a clip, a vent clip. And let me talk about this real fast. I used a command clip here, folks. I went online to look at car vent clips and I did find them, but I was not interested in purchasing 10, 15, 20 of them. I just wanted one clip. And I found this in my junk drawer. I attached some hot glue on there and it clips on there very nicely. So I'm happy with how this turned out. And also for the card charm here, you know, if you weren't interested in doing these many flowers, you could just do one flower, 2, 3, as many as you'd like, because I understand how something like this can be distracting for drivers. So if you feel like this is too large for a card charm, you can always just do 1 or 2. So this one, for example, measures about between 10 and 11 inches. And that hangs just low in my mirror, just perfectly, so it doesn't interfere with my driving. So that's a good length for me. But if you wanted to customize the hanging loop as well, you can add or remove chains. I did a chain of 75 here, so that was perfect for my vehicle. And these coasters, you know, I attempted a few of them, and I think I finally got a right size here. My first couple attempts were off. So let's see, this one measures about 3 inches around. And this fits perfectly in my cup holder of my vehicle. So I'm assuming that would be considered a standard size. But I hope you give this a go, guys. This was so much fun. And of course, the sky is the limit with the color combos here. And also, before we begin, I used a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and this is all acrylic yarn. I used a white sparkle yarn for the flower, yellow, and green. But of course, feel free to use any color of your choice. Alrighty, let's grab our supplies and get ready. To begin our flower, I will be using yellow acrylic yarn. And this is a size 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. So we're going to start with the center of the flower, and the center, the yellow portion, is the same for all 5 of them. So we're going to start off by forming a magic ring. Pull the yarn and chain 1. And in this magic ring, we're going to do 10 single crochets. Close out my ring and slip stitch to that first single crochet. Chain 1 and fasten off. That's it. That is the center of our flower. I pull this a little tighter, and with these 2 ends, I just simply tie them together. I create a couple of knots and then cut off the excess. There we go. I already did my 5 here. Okay, so let's start off with our first flower. We're gonna do this pretty white one here. So what we do, I have this white yarn here. I believe this will be enough. So what we do is we take our little center here and I'll pull the yarn through any random stitch. Pull it through that first one, grab my yarn, pull it through. And we're going to do a chain of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to slip stitch into the same stitch we started. And it creates a bit of a loop. There you go. Slip stitch into the next stitch and repeat the same process. Chain 7. And slip stitch back into the same stitch. And there's our second loop. Slip stitch into the following stitch and repeat the process. There you go. It's as simple as that. I'll go ahead and finish this pattern and I'll meet you at that last stitch. I completed my 10 loops and here is my last one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch to that first stitch right here. Slip stitch, chain 1 and fasten off. And just like I did before, just tie these two ends together and cut off the excess. So I completed my 5 flowers. So now it's time to attach the green yarn. We're going to create a hanging loop to put it over the rear view mirror. So I'll take my first flower here and I will insert my hook through 2 loops in the back that are side by side, just any 2 random loops here. And I will pull my green yarn through, just like that. And now I'm going to do a chain of 5. And now I'm going to attach my second flower. And just like I did with this one, I'll just pull it, I'll just insert my hook through 2 random loops there that are side by side and do a slip stitch. And there we have it, just like that. These are attached. Now I'm going to do a chain of 75. I thought that was a good length to hang over my rear view mirror. For me, it didn't hang too low and it didn't interfere with my view while I was driving, but you can customize your length to your liking. You can make it longer, you can make it shorter, but I'm gonna go ahead and do a chain of 75. I completed my chain of 75. And now I'm gonna attach the other 2 flowers. So I'll take my third flower here and insert the hook and do a slip stitch. Do a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And attach the second flower. I'll do a slip stitch, chain 1 and fasten off. And there we have it. I'll just go ahead and tie these together and probably add a little bit of hot glue on there. And there we have it. So now let's work on the leaf. To do the leaf, we're going to do 2 leaves. We're going to do one for the this larger hanger and a tiny one for the clip. So for the larger one, we're going to do a chain of 12. Here's a chain of 12. And we are going to be working in both sides of the chains. We're going to be working on these loops right here and on the other side. So starting from the second loop from my hook, here's 1 and 2. So insert your hook into the second chain and do a single crochet. In the second chain, we'll do a half double. And in the next chain, we're going to do 2 double crochets in the same chain. 1 and 2. In the next chain, we're going to do a half double. The next chain, we're going to do a single. In the next chain, we'll do a slip stitch. And in the next chain, we're going to do a single, followed by a half double. In the next chain, we'll do 2 double crochets in the same chain. Followed by a half double. And a single. There we go. That is the top portion of the leaf. And we're going to mirror the same pattern that we did here on these bottom chains. So after you do your last single crochet, do a chain 1 and insert your hook into that first chain. It's a little tight, but there you go, just like that. And I'll weave this in along the way, or you can sew it in with a tapestry needle at the end. So we'll do a single crochet, then a half double, 2 double crochets in that same chain, followed by a half double, then a single, followed by a slip stitch, then a single, a half double, 2 double crochets in the next chain, followed by a half double, and a single. And here is my first single crochet. I will insert my hook into that stitch, chain 1, and fasten off. There's our leaf. And I'll just go ahead and weave in my ends. So I went ahead and weaved in my ends there. So now we're going to attach the leaf to these chains right here. And we do so by putting our hook through the middle of the leaf. These 2 front loops here is where we did our slip stitches in those rounds. So I just give it a little tug, just like that. Grab my chains here, and I just loop it through. And there we have it, just like that. That is so cute. And of course you can position it any way you'd like. So we're all done with this portion. Now let's do a mini leaf for this tiny little clip. Okay, so for this one, we're going to do a chain of 6. Here we go. So for this one, we're only going to work on one side. So from starting from the second chain from the hook, we're going to insert and do a single crochet, followed by a half double crochet, followed by 2 double crochets in the same stitch, followed by a half double crochet, and a single crochet in that last stitch. Fasten off, and that's it. That's our mini leaf. That's it. I'm going to tie these 2 ends together. I'll be right back. Okay friends, so now it's time to attach the leaf, and all I'm going to do is add a little bit of hot glue to the very tip of this leaf, just like that, and attach it to the back of the flower, just like that. Go, looks so cute. And also, let's talk about the clip. So I went online to try to find some car vent clips, and I was able to find some, but I wasn't looking to purchase 20 or 50 clips. I just wanted 1 clip for this little project. And I came across this clip here in my junk drawer, and I tried this clip, and it's a command clip. And this works beautifully. I tried it already, and I attached it to my vent, and it stayed on there beautifully. So if you have one of these, this will work for you if you wanted to do the clip. I'll just put it like this and put it through the vent, and it stayed on there beautifully. So this is what I'm using. So what I do is I'll just add a generous amount of hot glue on here. And of course we're gonna clip it into the vent this way. So you wanna attach it right here on this flat portion, not this part, just this side piece right here. I'll put it down just like this. See, I want my leaf down to the side. This one's good. Yep, there you have it. Got a little clip. So that worked for me. Hopefully you folks will give it a try. You can clip it this way, you can clip it that way. So that's what worked for me. So these 2 parts are done. So now it's time to do the cup holder. And I gave it a couple of tries. This was my first attempt, and it was way too large. So I sized down a little bit, and this ended up being perfect. This kind of curled around the cup holder, and it was in there nice and snug. So, and then I tried another one after this, and then it just ended up looking not so great. So this is my final attempt, and I was pretty happy with how it looked. So to do the cup holder, we're going to start with the yellow yarn. Here's my yellow yarn, and we're going to do 10 half double crochets in the magic ring. Let's do 10 half double crochets. Slip stitch, chain 1, and fasten off. That's round 1. And to do round 2, with my white yarn, I will insert my hook in any random stitch here and pull the white yarn through. So this next round will be an increase round. Chain 1, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. So we're going to do 10 increases, totaling 20 half double crochets for round 2. And I'm just going to incorporate my tails here in this round so I don't have to sew them when I'm done. So go ahead and do round 2. Do an increase round, 2 half double crochets in each stitch around, and I'll meet you at the end. I've completed round 2. I'm going to slip stitch to that first stitch, and then I won't chain 1. So here's my first stitch, second stitch, and here in this third stitch we're going to do 6 double crochets. So skip the second stitch, and in the third stitch here, let's do 6 double crochets. There's 6. Now I'm going to skip the next one, and in the following I will do a slip stitch. Now let's do another petal together. I'm going to skip the next stitch, and in the following stitch I will do 6 double crochets. Six, skip 1, slip stitch. There's our second one. Skip, do 6 double crochets, and repeat the pattern until you have a total of 5 petals. There's my last petal, and I'm going to slip stitch in that first chain of that round. And if you wanted to add a stitch marker there to help you find it, you can do that as well. Chain 1 and fasten off. There we go. Now we're going to do 1 round of green. And all we're doing here is doing a single crochet in each stitch around. So insert your hook into that first single crochet, pull the green yarn through, and chain 1. So now we're going to create 35 single crochets around this little flower. We did 6 double crochets to create 5 petals, and we have a slip stitch in between each petal there, totaling 35 single crochets all the way around. So insert your hook back into that same stitch, and we begin our single crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and complete 35 all the way around. So I completed my 35 single crochet, slip stitch to the first single crochet, chain 1, and fasten off. And if you wanted to, you could take a tapestry needle to weave in your ends, but I decided to just tie mine in a couple of knots and cut off the excess. I hope you enjoyed this pattern. I think the sky's the limit when it comes to the color combos. I hope you give this a go. And if you wanted to, you can add a little bit of glue there to the back just to hold it down. But what do you guys think? I think it came out so adorable. It adds just a pop of color to the inside of my vehicle. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, and I hope you give it a go. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.